To today's section. In the previous class, we understood the need for object oriented software engineering. Today, we will learn about the software process structure, which provides a systematic approach for developing software from initial idea to its final deployment. Understanding the software process is essential because every successful software product follows a well defined deployment process rather than random coding. Let us begin by understanding what a software process. A software process is a collection of activities, actions, and tasks performed to develop a software product. For example, think we are a building constructor, we are going to build a house. Before building begins, there is a planning, designing, construction, inspection, and finally handing over the completed house to the owner. Similarly, software development also follows a sequence of organized activities. The generic process model organizes software development into framework activities. Each activity consists of several actions and every action is divided into smaller tasks. These tasks produce work products, define quality checks, and help to measure project progress. Next, we are move on to the list of software development activities. The generic process model consists of 5 framework activities. The first activity is communication, where developers interact with the customer to understand their requirements. The second is planning, where project schedules, resource, and risk are identified. Next comes modeling, where software design and system architecture are prepared. The fourth activity is construction, which includes coding and testing. Finally, deployment delivers the software to users, collect feedback, and support feature improvements. Apart from these 5 activities, software project also include 8 umbrella activities like software project tracking and control, risk management, software quality assurance, technical reviews, measurements, software configuration management, reusability management, work product preparation, and production. These activities ensure that the project remains organized, maintains quality, and adapted to the changes effectively. Next, we are move on to the software process flow. So it describes how the framework activities, action, and tasks that occurs within the each framework activity are organized with respect to the sequence of time. And this flow, it have some types. The first type is linear progress flow, where each activity is completed one after another. This approach is suitable when project requirements are clear and stable. The second type is interactive process flow, where one or more activities are repeated whenever improvements are required. And third is a evolutionary progress flow. Here, software is deployed in multiple versions. Each versions add new features until the final product is completed. And finally, we have parallel progress flow, where different team work on different modules simultaneously. This approach significantly reduces the deployment time for large software projects. Next, we are move on to the framework activity with some example. To understand the framework activities better, let us consider the communication activity. Suppose a small software project is requested by a single customer with simple requirements. In this case, communications may involve just a phone call, requirement discussion, preparing the notes, and obtaining the customer approval. However, in large software projects involving many stakeholders, communications becomes much more complex. So, it consists of 6 important actions. The first one is inception, where project goals and stakeholders are identified. The second is allegation, where detailed requirements are gathered using interviews, questionnaires, or meetings. And third is the elaboration, where collected requirements are analyzed and refined. The fourth is negotiation, where conflicting requirements are resolved and prioritized where decided. The fifth is a specification, where all agreed requirements are documented clearly. And finally, validation. It ensures that the document requirements are complete, correct, and accepted by all the stakeholders. So this example shows that the framework activities can have different levels of complexity depending upon the project size. Next, we are move on to the process patterns. Next, we are move on to the process pattern. Software engineers often encounter similar problems while developing different projects. So instead of creating repeatedly, they use process structure or process pattern. So a process pattern is provide a solution that has already worked successfully in the similar situation. Each pattern includes information such as the problem, the environment, where it occurs, the proposed solution, and the expected outcome. Using progress pattern will reduce the development effort, improve the consistency, and helps the team solve the problems more efficiently. Next, we are move on to the progress assessment and improvement. So developing software is only not enough. So organizing also evaluate how effectively the software development process is being followed. This is known as software process assessment. Several international models are used for this purpose, like SCAMPI and CMM based appraisal internal process development like a CBA IPI and SPICE and ISO 9001 and 2000 for software process assessment softwares. And these models help organization improve the software quality, project management, customer satisfaction, and overall process maturity. So finally, to summarize the entire session, so the today's session introduced the generic process model, framework and umbrella activities, different software progress flow, communication activities, progress pattern, and software process assessment models. The next class we will be continue employing software engineering process with a more practical example and UML based concept. Thank you. Happy learning.